Good morning, YouTube. So, starting since last week, I guess, I've been working on the Ranchrunner like absolutely like crazy, and I apologize. I haven't been taking video just because when you start getting down and dirty, you start doing the work, I just didn't really want the camera to stop me, and I'm not too good at showing what I do work-wise on the truck. But I'll show you guys what I've done so far. I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to try to record it the best I can, see how well it turns out. But for the time being, I'll show you guys what I've done so far. So one thing was add another fire extinguisher. Nothing to the motor, clean the air filter. And this is all a prep for when I go to Moab, which is we are 9 days away. I'm excited. First things that really I started on was finally putting bigger shocks on the truck. And these are, I don't have the right misalignments, so I put washers in there. These are sway away 2.5s, bypass 16-inch travels. They're actually too big. However, because this thing still has OEM leaf springs, I still don't have enough up travel to really limit myself too much. So by the time these ones hit bump stop, the spring's pretty much maxed out. So it's not that big of a deal. And I wrote down my PSI. I gotta recharge the shocks. So I got this all done up, and of course there's sticks everywhere, and got the shocks on, built my own bump stops to actually have bump stops back here because they don't work anymore. Got this axle truss from Barnes Off-Road for the Dana 80. They're the only ones I saw that were really reasonable and something that was simple enough so I can add things to it later on down the road and just beef up the rear axle like it needs more beef, right? So there's your suspension. Got everything all mounted up, welded in. I did, since these are upside down shackles or whatever they call them, these are actually lowering shackles, but I was trying to get the rear end lifted back up a little bit so I have that more up travel. So actually I cut them down from the top here because they're actually hitting over here. I don't know if you can see that smudge mark on the other side. There's an actual dent. But I dropped these down to lift the truck up. This truck never had a rear bumper. Still doesn't really have a rear bumper, but I went ahead and at least beefed up and braced up the rear of the frame here, just because it's all C-channel back here. I had an old receiver from the white 24 valve, because this one, the plates on it were bent that come down. So I cut everything off there and put some 1/4-inch 2x3 tubing inside of the rail. Welded it all up and just beefed up the rear end, and it has something to hit instead of the body. Plus I can put a little shackle in the receiver hitch there so I can pull someone out or someone can pull me out, vice versa, whatever. I put in this sound alert system because the horn on the truck does not work, and I didn't really feel like tracking down any wires, and heck, the horns on these things are weak. So I put this badass little radio intercom PA system thingamajigger that has a horn on it too. It's still like 7 o'clock in the morning here, so I mean that's like quarter volume. It gets pretty loud. But yeah, I could talk trash, honk at people, turn on my sirens, pretend I'm a cop car, cop truck, ranch runner, sheriff. Yeah. So I got that in there. Yeah, it still needs a roll cage. I'll get to that one of these days, hopefully before I die in this truck. However, what I am working on now that I actually want to do a good video on, I got these rock sliders here. And I was going to build my own, but I went ahead and just bought a kit. I'm trying to make life a little bit easier. I'm on a very tight time crunch right now. Number one, these are from RuffStuff Specialties. It's really nice because their fab shop is like, I don't know, 40-50 minutes away from my house. Picked up this entire kit here from them. And this is just like the jankified pre-assembly, just so you guys can see how it works. Got more cross tubing here. These go like that. So this is what your rock smash, and this is what welds up onto the frame. And you can bolt them up or weld them up, whatever you want to do there. And get these on here so this type of stuff doesn't happen. It's kind of nice too because they're like a little step up majigger. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be trying to work on today. And one thing I did forget to add is I did put anti-wraps on the truck because I'm an idiot half the time, and I do something when I don't think about the consequences after the fact. And what that led to me spending nearly $400 in Heims and about $200 in tubing. I cut off these leaf grabber majiggers so I have more flex. You need to remember when you do that, now you're working off of one leaf to keep the axle from wrapping. And if you guys don't know, when you have axle wrap, you floor it, that torque from the motor and the axle is gonna bend this entire system up. Because you've now, well, I have now weakened leaf springs technically. You change your pinion angle and then you start binding your U-joints to your driveline. When you do that, you start blowing things up, as in U-joints or wrapping a driveline. So put the anti-wraps on there to stop that from happening. Plus they're kind of like a nice skid plate before you hit the fuel tank or a driveline. At the same time, these are 2-inch, 1/4-inch wall DOM with 1.25 Heims. You can smack these things on rocks and you'll be just fine. So I got those done, all welded up, all that good stuff. So forgot to mention that, sorry. I'm gonna get all this stuff cleaned up, get the truck fixed in here, and it's a little bit breezy outside, so I'm gonna see what the best I can do with the breeze and welding, because those two do not mix. Got everything all jacked up and make it a little bit easier to work down below. Let's see what I can do here. All right, I'm kind of just mocking up a few things, see what kind of room I have, centered everything up, take everything back off. I got to cut these tubes down a little bit. I'm going to tack this entire assembly together first, get everything nice in line, and then get it back up and see kind of where we're sitting, see how low or high I can put this, or the rest of it, you know, kind of shimmy it this way. Because I do want it to sit off the body just a hair. I mean, my brother has a full-blown fab shop, but I'm 560 miles away from him, so this is a little bit more convenient when something's 40-50 minutes away from me. All right, so then this is gonna pretty much, for example, go like that ish, you know. But I mean, you guys will see. You can just skip ahead if you want to see the finished product. I know a lot of you guys probably do, because I do the same thing when I look at YouTube videos. I'm like, what do you do? Okay, cool, done. Go to the next thing. All right, like I said, I'm terrible at taking video. I just remembered about the camera. I got my safety glasses on, don't worry. All right, so I got everything tacked up here. I'm happy I didn't go too far along. Cut the tubes at the degrees that need to be done. Hey, Papa Dog. Hey, watch your feet, huh? I got these end caps tacked in place here, and I still got to measure these guys, get them all centered up, you know, whatever you do there. And then at least this will be tacked up into place, and then I can kind of mock it up on the rocker there. Honestly, super easy. I mean, everything's laser cut from RuffStuff, so everything's, you know, a lot more precise than I am, I'll tell you that much. And make sure when you cut these things, put them to the side, because that will go straight through your boot or straight through a tire. Bad day. I'm gonna get this thing all mocked up. I'm gonna get these all tacked up on there also, just to add some extra weight to make it harder on me. And then we'll kind of see where we're sitting there, and then we'll kind of figure out how we got to do this on the frame, because if you guys know second gens, you got, you know, flat right here, then it kicks up, and then it goes back, and then it kicks up again. But that last kick up I don't have to worry about. But I got 4 runners I gotta send out to attach to this, so we'll kind of see how that goes. Okay, this is what I got going on so far. It's probably been like another hour. I can't remember. This thing's pretty heavy, and I was trying to get it mocked up under there, trying to get, you know, below the pinch weld on the body and see how far I had to come out. And my measurement was 14.5, so I cut all my stubs off, you know, I cut those suckers off. I'm gonna get everything tacked into place here now, get it back up there, and make sure everything is still good. The frame is straight, and these were all the same size. This is kind of a 2-man job. It would help out just because it weighs so much. It would really benefit you. It's just so someone could hold the other side, because I'm just using these clamps here to like hold it up kind of where I need it, and then kind of get measurements off, because I'll be honest, I'm not the best fabricator. Okay, I know how to get a few things into place and stuff like that. I can build stuff, but I'm nothing fancy. My neighbor is the master fabricator, and he's gonna be the one doing my little bit more complicated projects when this entire rear half of the truck becomes a tube chassis. However, for now, this is kind of what I'm doing because money's tight unless someone wants to donate, like, what was it? About $42,000 for everything. So in the meantime, I'm on my budget. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna get this mocked up and see what it looks like. Be right back. Where'd my square go? Son of a turd. I'm not even moving around that much and I'm losing everything. Yo. There you are. If you guys are wondering why I have these bars spread the way they are, one is for the placement on the actual frame, make sure it's not in the way of anything. And also, I put a little bit more beef up here in the front because this is going to be most likely the biggest hammering side if you're coming off a rock. This general area is going to be the hardest hitting, so a little bit more support structuralness over here on this side. All right, there you go. This is pretty much what it's going to look like. I do have it centered up on, you know, from the rocker. And here's down below. Of course, you know, I got a little bit of movement, but I'll get that all fixed up. But there you go. From that, I'm gonna make this thing smoking retardedly hot. Try to keep the heat down, keep anything from warping around. Hopefully, I'm gonna get this all together and we'll kind of go from there. I made my own little weird welding table, so there you go. All right, I apologize. I completely forgot about you guys again. And truck's turned around. I'm working on number 2 now. I'll show you guys, I guess, the somewhat finished product. I don't really paint anything, but here you go. And don't worry, this song isn't copyrighted. There you go. And that's pretty much it right there. Got her all welded up onto the frame right there. I don't think she'd be going anywhere. I mean, I stood on it. It moves around a little bit. It's gonna give, but the biggest thing is that it stops going up. But I mean, step on it, shaking the whole damn truck. So yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, that's your RuffStuff Specialties rocker guards right there. Again, these are the 84-inch width. Of course, the outer tube is smaller. However, it is DOM tubing, and they make everything, and you weld it together. Yeah, I did mess up on this one just a tad, and that was because I'm only one person, and I had my center line right here, and somehow I tacked and welded everything together on the frame. Then by the time I realized, I was like, I was a ½ inch off from dead center, and I screwed that up, and it's gonna probably annoy me. It won't be noticeable. It's rarely noticeable whatsoever, but double triple check. And that's one thing I didn't do. I thought we were good, but I guess it shifted when I was trying to get everything onto the frame. But yeah, so there you guys go. Other than that, I hope that was a good little quick overview on the Ranchrunner. I'm going to do a few more things to it. I think I already said when this movie started, but that's going to be doing the cross braces here. And then I do have new gears for it also. I have a Yukon spool that's going in the rear for the Dana 80, and front staying open, but I have this truck, which surprised me. That's why I'm doing the gears. It has 354 gears in it, which I did not realize or know or even pay attention to, but it has 354s, which kind of sucks. However, the spool I bought was for 410 and up ratios, so went ahead and spent money again and bought 456 gears for the front and rear so I can use the spool, and if anything, it's just going to give me a lower gear set also. And this thing kind of needs it, because if you're just driving around, you have to use granny first to start off, because second gear is like trying to start in third gear if you have a regular truck. So that's just going to help it out quite a bit right there. Other than that, that is going to be done next week. Just pretty much just before I leave. I am rebuilding the entire rear ends, new bearings, new seals, new everything with the gear sets. So other than that, I'm just going to call in this video. I guess I'll see how it actually turned up to be. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Other than that, you guys have a good one. Bye.